God, money, and common sense. Some people say they don't mix, but do they? Like they say, make money any way you can, with any trick you can. Give God his 10% and everything is fine. So, what does God really think about this? Is your work, money, and business all part of being a witness? Or is it one of those things? Find out on God, Money, and Common Sense, only on Encounter Jesus Television. Hi, my name is Daniel Chinekwe. Today on God, Money, and Common Sense, we will be interviewing someone special, and his name is Adedoyin Balogun, the CEO of Bowden Clothiers. He is a seasoned entrepreneur who has built a multi-million naira fashion brand from selling t-shirts. On this episode, you will be learning how to move from an idea level to practical business. Join me.
Okay, so my name is Adedoyin Balogun. I'm a graduate of Pure and Applied Chemistry from the University of Jos. I'm married with kids. I'm a fashion entrepreneur. I run a men's lifestyle and tailoring business based in Abuja. And I've been in this for close to 2.5 decades. Okay, so I think before I talk about value creation, a lot has to do with your personality. You know, you as an individual, and especially as a Christian, have to stand for something, right? What do you stand for? You know, because every business is just an elongated shadow of the set man, of the visionary, all right? And you can't give what you don't have. One of the first questions, and I heard this from a very senior person when I went for a seminar that was close to 20 years ago. And he said, you must define whether you are a Christian who is into business or you're a businessman who is a Christian. They're two different things. They sound alike. And I said, okay, I could be a businessman and be a Christian, but I'd rather be a Christian, you know, holding the values of Christ, you know, holding the fruits of the Spirit, those attributes that we so profess, you know, let it radiate through my life. And I think that ties back to the value. What value are you? When people are paying you 10 naira, what are they paying for? And are you giving them what they're paying for? Your work is not done as a professional in any field until the customer is happy. And that's has been one of our mantras. That has been one of the things we keep on striving to achieve. That our work is not done. We don't say it's over until the customer says, wow, thumbs up, you know. And I think it's very important that value should be defined not just from the point of view of what we, the service providers, are giving, but what the client has asked for and has received and has confirmed that it meets with his or her expectation. Okay, so I think we should put things in perspective, and let's not also over spiritualize issues. Is money important? Absolutely. It's important for business expansion. It's important to keep the business running. It's important to pay staffs. Money is needed for aesthetics, it's needed for promotions. But money in itself cannot be said to be the means to an end. Money in itself is not all. Value is not just about money. There are things that money can buy and there are things that money cannot buy. For a lot of our clients, our customers, they've morphed, they've grown from just being clients to friends and family. That is value. It's not just about the transaction. There are bigger pictures. Don't forget, every business is as good as its network. All right? Now, what that means is that if it were just transactionary and you don't get referrals, yes, you've made money off that one-off. Then what next? Is that enough to sustain you? But it's a value you have been able to create, and that means, and value, even in accounting, there's something called goodwill. When you are as a growing concern, when you're running a business, there's goodwill that far exceeds money. Goodwill enables you access credit, even in the bank. You know, it is why they lend you money is not necessarily because of your collateral. All right, because even in banks, they'll tell you that there are two things. There's the willingness to pay, aside from the ability to pay. You can have the ability and not be willing. There are very rich people who are defaulters in our present country. You understand? And AMCON has quite a long list. So it's not just about money. It's about what keeps you in check. You know, it's about what's the bigger picture? What drives you? Because money in itself cannot be the end of it all. After all you're getting and you get all the money, then what next? Are you fulfilled? Are you happy? You know, value is bigger, is all encompassing, because you not just have delivered, you made a client happy. From there, you are sure that there's going to be repeat patronage. From there, you're sure that you're going to have referrals. You know, from there, it could spiral ball into 1,001 things. You know, so it's not just about I received money and I made a profit. No. Is this person satisfied? And based on this satisfaction, will this person do a repeat business? Is this person so satisfied that he can preach our gospel to other people? You know, I think that should be what we should be looking at as Christians. We should be able to say, like Jesus said, the extra mile. You know, that extra mile is not just about, Oga, madam, this is what you've asked me for. You know, so please don't bother me. Give me my money and go. What is the extra mile? And you see, these things have a way of showing. They have a way of exuding. You know, it's just a matter of time. And people will know, you know, because we all emit different energies. So people know when you are doing it genuinely, you know, or when you are faking it, you know. And as a Christian, first and foremost, in business, you know, we should understand that just like we were charged in Acts 1 verse 8, go into all the world, you know, and preach the gospel. It's not necessarily having pulpits. It's about being apostles in the marketplace. And I think it's very important we understand that we as Christians, is not until I carry tracts and Bibles, you know, to minister the gospel. People are watching you in your place of transaction. People are watching your conduct, your mannerism, you know, and they're taking notes. How would they believe the Jesus they have not seen when you that profess it have not acted as such? And I think that should be the mindset we carry in our various businesses. as we conduct, not just even business, even in our careers, even in our professions, because as human beings, we are creations of, how do I put it now? We are wired to commune with one with another. No man is an island. We are relational beings. So as we relate in our various spheres of influence, how do we relate? And would this be said to be the attributes of the Christ we profess? I think that's very important. I think that's a bigger value, really. It is when people see your conduct that they can actually step up to you and say, oh, I like the way you treated me. I like the way you conduct your business. I want to know more. Then you can direct them. Then you can turn them to Christ and tell them about the kingdom. That's a beautiful question. Now, especially in the climate which we are in Nigeria, things are just spiral balling out of control. You have high energy costs. Beyond, so you ask yourself, first and foremost is, what does the client want? All right. And you're able to whittle it down. Oh, I want this product and these are the specifications. Okay. Can you, in all honesty, deliver to that quality? If you tick yes, you move to the next one. How long will it take you? What are the customer's expectations for delivery? Can you meet those expectations? Because really and truly, it's not for want of other options, but like I humorously always tell my staffs, I say, look, for every client that comes here, they have at least 2 other options. So if they've come here for service excellence. They've come here for a particular quality. They've come here because of a particular timeline. They've come here because of a particular deliverable, right? It behoves on us to ensure that we have all these things tied together. That is when we are justified to bill, all right? That is 1. 2, if you were the client, would you feel happy to pay these charges? And if you say yes, why? If you say no, why? In every business, and I believe as a Christian in business, there's a place for empathy. There must be a balance. Like I said before, money is important? Absolutely. Absolutely. But then again, you must wait. Is money everything? No. There are clients I've met that their transactions were not spectacular, and we did it for them because of relationship. But guess what? They opened the door literally to massive opportunities. So just the thought of us having closed that door alone, do you understand? That means I would have missed out, because no client comes with the number of contacts and access he has on his forehead. So how do you know? You never really know, really. You don't know, all right? It just takes you being nice. It takes you being courteous. Some of these things are actually very basic. Now, value starts from when the person even walks into your business. What's the ambience like? What are the staffs like? Before he even comes to what he wants to do. There's an adage in my place that before the stomach eats, or before the mouth eats, the eyes will eat first. So value starts from what people are even seeing. Do they like what they see? When you go to fancy restaurants, you are going to pay a premium. Before they even bring the menu, as against going to Mama Put or a roadside booker. That for this roadside booker, it can't be more than this particular amount. What gives you that knowing? Because value can also be inferred. That, okay, these people seem as if they know what they're doing. Okay, I might be paying top dollar, but I think I'll get what I want here. As against if you go to a ramshackle, you'd have your doubts. And maybe you need persuasion from maybe a friend that is taking you there that, no problem. So value, like I said before, is broad. Now your ability, I must put this in, to match expectation and experience with your deliverable is what makes you, it what gives you your money. It what gives you the profit. Expectation from what I asked for. There's on social media, you see what I ordered versus what I got. When the client ordered versus when the client got it, are they at par? It is when they are at par that you make your money. So there should be a balance. Everybody has, every organization should have its own way of working out overheads and your billing system, but it should be in tandem with what the customer is going to receive. Is at that point you are justified to collect the money. Okay. Let me say a couple of things. I totally understand, and even for us that, in quotes, seem to have made it, right? I can tell you that it's a daily battle. We have our own challenges. We have our own demons. And the higher you go, the hotter it becomes. So it's not a walk in the park. That's one. Two, the Bible is an amazing book. Not just spiritually speaking now, and I'm saying this not to sound overly spiritual, but because it's the reality. He said, for there is no temptation facing you that is not common to man, and that God will not allow that which is more than you. All right? There is still the same Bible. There's nothing new under the sun. So whatever we're facing now as a country, guess what? The Israelites faced it. So there are examples in the Bible. When children were being eaten because of famine. When even the king said, what will I do? It's in the Bible. There was despondence in the land. So where we are as a nation is really not new. So that's the first thing. Heaven will not fall. Heaven will not fall. That's the first. Secondly, tough times never last. There's always an expiry date. Tough people do. The same Bible talks about if you falter in times of adversity, how weak is your strength? So it tells me that I need to work on myself. I need to work on my stamina. If you've ever long distance races, the people from East Africa always win. You're talking of Kenya, you're talking of Ethiopia, Tanzania. Why do they win? Because the terrain is uphill, the air is thinner, but that is something that they've been acclimatized to and built over time. So they'll go to Europe, they win. In Africa, they win. They go to America, they win. We don't practice for battle during the battle. You practice for battle during the time of peace. What am I trying to say? That Nigeria is hard, Nigeria is tough, yes. The time to have built up strength was before now. By the word, by experience. So, and I'm going to give different answers to this so that people can pick nuggets And I'm not talking as one who has all the answers. Now, when you are believing God for the fruit of the womb, even if God answers you now, there's a place for time, 9 months. So there is seed, there is time, and there's harvest. Seed, time, and harvest. There's a place for process. A lot of times, the younger parents, they don't want to go through the process. IT, social media cannot help you circumvent the process. If you don't go through the process, be prepared for the crash. It's just a matter of time. So while we're talking about not going through the and there are things and attributes that are important, in business. You can't take it away. Things like dedication, things like discipline, things like diligence. There's no substitute for that. You can't use social media as a substitute for that. Seest a man diligent in his work, he shall serve before kings and not mere men. So you cannot, there are laws that God has given that guide life. If you break the hedge, the serpent will bite. Are there tough times? Absolutely. Are things hard? Absolutely. But the Bible says, say to the righteous it is well. The Bible that said that did not say it because of lack of what to write. So that's why we speak positively, knowing that our words also carry power, knowing that as we speak, our words begin to create our future and it becomes our reality. So, in all thy gettings, get wisdom. Because wisdom is the principal thing. So things are not working. Why are they not working? But in the hand of A, in the hand of B is working. Okay, Lord, is there a secret you need to show me? Have we taken time out? Do we even know who we are as individuals? Do you know your strength? Are you sure you're even the right thing? You are even the right calling? Are you even sure? Or are you doing it because you see C doing it and being successful? Everybody's walk with God is individual. I can't benchmark my walk with God using your own, because we're all in this life. But guess what? We all have different question papers. Your number 2 may be my number 5. So if I'm copying you, I'm copying Amis. It is an individual race. And that's why Paul said, one thing I do is to run. Not looking at Peter, who was with Jesus. I'm running individually. And I have that understanding. So there's the what to do, the physical component as individuals, as young people. There's the spiritual component. I'd say that in the midst of everything, in the midst of all the in quote hopelessness and despondency, don't lose hope. Tough times never last. Tough people do. The land is very, very green and there are opportunities all abound. Whatever challenge, trial we're going through now as a nation, as a people, is just a passing phase. Soon and very soon we'll be out of the woods. And Nigeria, this nation, shall take its pride of place amongst community of nations. But hanging there, because only those that have the lion heart can partake of the lion's share. This is Adedoyin Balogun, and you are live on Encounter Jesus TV. Thank you.